You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening, world. Welcome into Greenie Sports Cards Live. We are here as we are every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, coming to you across multiple platforms on the world's first hobby broadcast and multi-stream, and accompanied by a live auction, which will be taking place later this evening at 9 o'clock. You can jump on eBay Live with Alex. But before that, you've got us streaming on multiple platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the X, LinkedIn, and Twitch, and a number of other points in between, as we have done practically every Tuesday since late January of this year. And it's been quite a run of amazing guests and content and hobby news. And tonight is no exception. We are really, really, really excited to welcome our guest in this evening, a two-time Miss Ohio basketball here in the state of Ohio, and being based out of Cleveland. Very, very excited to welcome KK Bransford a little bit later, who is now at the University of Notre Dame. And they've got a really big matchup this week against UConn, number 10 versus 2 in the country in women's basketball. So we'll get a little bit of insight from KK, find out what she's doing these days, both on the team and on the sideline with sideline chats, and talk to her about her high school experience and all kinds of cool stuff. So really excited to welcome KK. And before we do that, we're going to welcome in the man himself, Greenie, who allows us to do this every Tuesday and beyond. Greenie, how is it going this evening?
It's going well. Very excited for this one since we started doing this and following a lot of the women's college basketball. And Adam and I are actually going to make the trip to South Bend and watch the game Thursday night. So really looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, what a matchup. We say this every week. Over the last 2 years, we've watched and consumed more women's basketball over the last 2 years than certainly the men's game. It is such an amazing time for the sport. We have become fans, of course, rooting locally here for Cleveland State University and Akron and Kent State. We've got some terrific D1 basketball, and we were fortunate to connect with the Notre Dame basketball team last March and do an event with them, and really getting to know these players and personalities. And the game itself, it is such an amazing product, well beyond the names that may be instantly recognizable at the top these days, but team by team and city by city, it's been a really fun ride, Greenie, to kind of take in this game and watch it grow.
Yeah, no question. And when we talked to KK and some of the players that she's played up against and interviewed in her content, the sideline chats with KK, I mean, this will be pretty amazing to hear some of the stories of what's happening in women's college basketball and then professionally as well.
So speaking of pretty amazing, in the history of the state of Ohio, there have only been 12 two-time or more Mr. or Miss Ohio basketball players of the year, both men and women, boys and girls. 7 on the female side, 5 on the male side. I bet you can name at least one of them off the top, but let's see if you can give it a shot. Any of those names come to mind, that would be Mr. Basketball or Miss Basketball 2 times or more in the state of Ohio.
I would think Vonda Ward.
That is one. That would not be the first name most people would guess, but Vonda is one. 1990, 1991 with Trinity.
Yeah.
How about on the male side? Take the one right off the top.
Greg Simpson.
That's amazing. Yes, he's still not the one I would guess off the top.
I understand. So LeBron James.
Right. Yes, of course. Right. LeBron James, Greg Simpson from Lima. That's around my time. Greg Simpson and Vonda, and Katie Smith as well. In that she was at The Ohio State University when I was there. 2-time Player of the Year. Vonda Ward, Greg Simpson. You mentioned Jared Sullinger, another one who attended Ohio State. His brother is at Kent these days. So rounding out that list, you've got LeBron James, Jimmy Jackson out of Toledo, Macomber. Simpson, Sullinger, and Luke Kennard in 2014, 2015. On the girls' side, Kirsten Bell was a 3-time Miss Ohio basketball, 16, 17, and 18. Michelle Munoz, D. Alexander, Katie Smith, Vonda Ward, Beth Ostendorf in 95 and 98 for Pickerington, and of course KK Bransford out of Mount Notre Dame in 21 and 22. That is an amazing list of basketball players, and we're going to get to talk to KK here very shortly. Before we do that, we want to remind people about the upcoming shows. Greenie, you've got quite a bit coming up. Talk about first the Wednesday night show that's coming up on the 18th.
So that's at the Glen Eagles Golf Course here in Twinsburg. We try a midweek show Wednesday, 2 to 8 p.m. So it's been pretty cool. It gets a little bit out of the norm. And people come. There's some people that they're able to come during the day, but after school has been pretty big, and we get a lot of kids that come to that. So looking forward to that show right before Christmas, the last few bits of shopping. And then really the end of that week, the 21st in Kirtland, will be the real last one before Christmas. So and all these shows are pretty much selling out. And our show, the 28th, in Broadview Heights, is sold out. That's over 100 tables. So we have a lot of good things coming towards the end of the year, actually starting this Saturday with our vault sale in Twinsburg.
And then you've got the big one to round out the year in Broadview Heights.
Right. Yeah.
So, looking forward I believe that all those tables were sold out.
That's right. That's right. So we have a waiting list, and we'll get people in if we can. And I mean, with that's a crowd that comes to that. Several hundred people show up to that show every time, and it's always a good one.
So very cool. Well, we've got a short video we're going to show here shortly that can introduce KK better than anything we could do. But want to give you a couple of career highlights on an amazing career thus far. So we're talking. McDonald's All-American in 22. She was, as we said, back-to-back Miss Ohio basketball, 2021 Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year, 2021 Max Preps Ohio Player of the Year, All-America first team for Max Preps. She's the all-time leading scorer in Mount Notre Dame, 2,172 points, and she was a part of a 98-game winning streak. That as a part of that, there were two state titles. So an amazing high school career, and followed it up with great start in her freshman year at Notre Dame. And let's show that a little bit on KK Bransford.
My name is KK Bransford. I'm a sophomore, and I'm on the women's basketball team. I got into the sport of basketball at a really young age because my older brother was playing basketball, and I kind of always wanted to be like him. My fight is my family. They are always there for me. They have motivated me to be the person that I am today. My older brother, my younger sister, both my parents, they played a really big role in what I've been doing these past couple years. Ultimately, I chose Notre Dame because when I came on campus, I just knew from the beginning that it was a family culture. Being in my sophomore year, I've kind of learned a lot of things coming into Notre Dame, but I think the most important thing is taking my opportunities when I can. Notre Dame gives you a lot of opportunities on and off the court, so being able to use those opportunities and use those platforms and being able to carry it to make me successful. I'm KK Bransford, and I'm all grit and all fight.
Pretty impressive stuff. So, Greenie, without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome in KK Bransford.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing well, doing well. Looking forward to this week and the matchup that you guys have and coming down to South Bend. That'll be my first time at the Joyce Center, so I look forward to that.
Oh, yes. And you got a great time to come. It's sold out and it's a little bit cold, but we can get by that. So
Let me ask you real quick, before we get into your career. So you have this big game against number 2 UConn, and the football team has the first playoff game at home the week after. How is that campus right now?
oh my gosh, it's a lot of chatter, a lot of exciting things. It is exam season, so I feel like for exam season, it's kind of a let some pressure off of things, and just to get out there and first come and watch our game, and then also with this big football game and coming off a great season with our football team, it's really exciting times.
It has to be. South Bend has to be pretty pumped up, and everything's happening in South Bend. So the amount of people that'll be in town over the next 2 weeks on that campus is going to be pretty amazing.
Yes.
So, KK, let's kind of take this from a linear perspective. We'll go back a little bit to your high school days. Again, we mentioned we're here in Ohio, very, very proud of the state and our cities here. Talk a little bit about your high school experience. What an amazingly decorated career you had. We mentioned the McDonald's All-American. We mentioned the 2-time Miss Ohio Basketball Player of the Year. What was that like for you playing basketball in Ohio and the career, and kind of segue that into the decision that led you to choose Notre Dame? What was that like your kind of that senior year? What was the environment like? Who else was chasing after you? And then talk about the Notre Dame decision.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like people don't know enough about how great Ohio women's basketball is and has been for these past couple years. I think the history of Ohio basketball is just amazing. And I just remember my first game coming in my freshman year. I played against Jordan Horston, who is now in the WNBA. So we had a lot of games and a lot of people that has come through Ohio and played basketball there. And I just feel like people don't understand the accomplishments that Ohio has accomplished. So, it's a special thing. And for me to be able to go to such a great high school, playing at Mount Notre Dame was a great time, having those 4 years. I came in again as a freshman playing with Gabby Marshall, who's at Iowa, Layla Filia, who's now at Texas, Makaira Cook, who's at Illinois. So we had three or four people on my freshman year come in and be D1 athletes. So they really took me underneath their wing and gave me a really great start to high school. And then, building up, I didn't know how good we were going to be going on that 98 game winning streak in my high school career. It's crazy because I lost my first game and my last game. So I've only lost 2 games in high school. But it was an amazing thing all 4 years. I played under Scott Rogers, and Coach Rogers was one of the best coaches I have ever played for. And, his knowledge, and he's had a lot of great players like Mel Thomas and just different people that I feel like all of those people along my way in my high school career has gotten me to where I am today with the knowledge of the game and who I am on and off the court even. And then my senior year, I have a younger sister. I talked about it in that video. Her name's KK Bransford. She's actually committed to Akron. She plays at Mount Notre Dame right now. But I got to play with her in my senior year, so that made it even more special. I had a great senior year. We were all throughout my 4 years, we were all really close. So just being able to accomplish the things I accomplished. It was all glory to God. Like, I was really blessed to be surrounded by the people I was surrounded by at the place I was at. And, and then even getting the academic piece at Mount Notre Dame, because the academic piece was just as important as the basketball piece for me, because I knew my transition into college was going to be difficult, as it is, I feel like, for every student athlete. But Mount Notre Dame really prepared me to go to the next level with academics and basketball. So amazing 4 years in Ohio. And at my year coming out, there was 3 McDonald's All-American just in Cincinnati itself, not even Ohio, but Cincinnati itself. We had Chance Gray, Kyla Oldacre, whose chances at Ohio State, and Kyla's at Texas, doing great things. So, it's so many names I can name drop. That was during my 4 years that I had to battle night in and night out to play against. So, and I feel like it really prepared me for college. So going into college, making my decision at Notre Dame, it was a hard decision, just because, you're trying to balance with high school and then going into college. But I think my main focus was to keep my values, and that is being around a family environment, the academic piece of it, and then just being able to compete and win. And I feel like coming to Notre Dame, making that decision, I have made the right decision coming here, because I got all 3 of those things. Those were my 3 top things that I wanted. And Coach Neil Ivy, who is a head coach at Notre Dame, she's amazing. Like, I could not ask for a better coach. So just being able to be under her wing, she played here at Notre Dame, won the first national championship in 2001. So, she's had the experience. And then playing with the people that I've played with throughout my 4 years, right now we have some of the top players in the nation, with Olivia Miles, Hannah Hidalgo, Sonia Citron. I can go down the list. Like, we're a really stacked team. So that is another thing that I want. I wanted to be able to compete and practice, and to just be surrounded by greatness, people that kind of had the same goals as mine. And then the academic piece, obviously, it's Notre Dame. I feel like that's what Notre Dame is known for, is just the academic piece and the connections that I can make. And I feel like I was not lied to in my college process. You have stories where people don't get what they've seen and throughout the college process, but Notre Dame is what they kind of pitched to me in high school. So, I've had a great first 3 years, almost 3 years, 2.5 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the academic piece. I mean, you were in the National Honor Society and honor roll, and I'm sure Notre Dame classes are not easy, and that had to prepare you not just for the basketball, but you're right, for being in the classroom at Notre Dame and the education that you're going to get there.
No, yeah, it's definitely, we don't have any online classes where we have to come to class, we have to be front row, all of those things. So it's really important, but I feel like it's preparing me for the real world, just like Mount Notre Dame prepared me for college. Notre Dame is preparing me for the next level. My family's a big academic family. My brother went to St. Xavier in Cincinnati and got a full ride to Ohio State. So like I said in that video, I started playing basketball because of him, and my academic piece is like, I'm competing with him about who can get the better grades, and my sister's doing the same to me. So it's all a competition when it comes to basketball, academics, whatever it is. But it's just always trying to be great, and having that in my family, that's something I wanted in my college, because your college teammates and the people that you're around is essentially your family now. So that has been accomplished. Like, I'm competing with the players on the court, I'm competing with them in the classroom, different things like that. And just, they're always making sure I'm accountable of being successful and preparing myself for the next level.
KK, did the fact you went to Mount Notre Dame influence your attending Notre Dame University?
I wish it did. No, it didn't. But the fact that the proximity of it, I will say, like, being close to home has helped, and it's definitely a good segue. My principal at Mount Notre Dame, Karen Day, she loves Notre Dame and kind of has that connection of that piece of it. So it might influence.
You don't have to name names if you don't want to, or name schools, but were there any Ohio schools that made the decision tough for you at that time, staying in state?
Yeah, so I wanted to stay a little bit closer to home. I was always a person that if I found a place that could do the same of farther schools, there's some farther schools. I know like UCLA, I was in my top 5. So, and they were a really great school, but if I could get the same thing that I wanted closer, that was pretty much my goal. And so, yeah, so the Ohio schools, there's great Ohio universities with Ohio State and even University of Cincinnati, UC. So there's some great Ohio schools out there that it definitely did make it tough. But ultimately, Notre Dame is kind of where I felt most home at.
So you're a McDonald's All-American, like you said, and what's the process like with that? Like, they just call you? How do they determine who's a McDonald's All-American? Like for people that aren't a McDonald's All-American, what's the process like that?
Right. So it's kind of stressful, especially your senior year. It was always a goal of mine. Watching people go to the McDonald's All-American. I remember the 2019 when Jordan Horston went, and different players that I knew, Zaya Cook, looking up to them from Ohio and seeing that they were being able to attend that game. It was definitely an accomplishment or a goal for mine. So it was something where you kind of fill out an application. I think you get an application from like your coach or a recommendation of some kind. And then in around January, or a little bit before that, they do like people who got nominated. So they have the nominees and they post that on social media. So you see that first on social media, and it's a lot of people. It's like a really, I can't remember how much, but it's a lot of people that get nominated. And then they narrow it down around the end of January or early February. And the way that they tell you is you watch it on TV. So you watch it on TV and they announce the teams. I want to say it was on ESPN. I remember I was at home with my mom and my sister, and I was videotaping it, and they just like unveil the names, and I like screamed. I actually had it posted on my Instagram how excited I was. I was really excited, shocked, grateful. Like it was so many emotions at that time, but yeah, and then you kind of get the email from there, but there's no communication before, like when the world knows is when you're gonna know. So it's definitely an amazing feeling, and like I said, it was a goal of mine. So I was glad I got to accomplish it.
Have you stayed friendly with some of the people that you met there, played against on the same team or against?
Yeah, so the thing about even women's basketball, but I think McDonald's All-American kind of connected me a little bit more with the men's side of basketball. And so the thing about women's basketball, I feel like it's such a small world. You kind of make friendships that last a lifetime. And that's the one thing that I love about basketball is that I have friends that from Team USA when I made the USA team in 2019. So I have friends from there that I carried along all the way up until now. Like KK Rice, I met her in my 9th grade year playing with Team USA, and she's my best friend for a lifetime. And then going to McDonald's makes it even closer because you're there for like 5 days. You're doing different activities, you're gaining friendships and connections, different things like that, or seeing people from camps that you've been to and different things like that. So yeah, like I talk to pretty much everybody, or at least support them over Instagram, but it's just a connection. I feel like the connection aspect of it all is great. Like even with USA basketball, like I knew Sonia Citron and Olivia Miles before even stepping foot here on campus, and that weighed a lot into my decision, just playing with them with Team USA and then coming here and being able to play with them again. So just little things like that, little camps and stuff, you gain a lot of friendships that I feel like is going to last you a lifetime or build you a connection, different things like that. So I was close with a lot of people. I feel like a social person. So I felt like, and then going there with Chance and Kyla, like that made it feel even better. I've known Chance and I played with Chance since second grade. So I've Chance's dad actually coached me all the way up until ninth grade. So me and Chance were really close. So it was good to have somebody that I kind of knew and was kind of familiar with, especially from Cincinnati. Kyla as well. Kyla, and Chance played together on Cincinnati's Finest all throughout AAU. So it was very easy transition, I feel like.
KK, we talked about your decorated high school career, and that continued on into your freshman year. You made all ACC as a freshman in 2023. You had a Freshman of the Week designation. You were champions of the ACC, your team, and then the tournament champion. This is the first year that you've faced some adversity. You mentioned in high school you lost your first game, you lost your last game. No doubt devastating in the state finals to walk away from that. But now you've had first taste of some personal injury and some adversity. What have you learned about yourself? And what have you learned as a basketball player now taking a step back and watching your team?
Yeah, so this year not being able to play and redshirting has been very difficult. Like you said, the adversity, I've never missed a high school game. I've never been really seriously injured, had surgery, any of that. So this was definitely different. And I honestly faced it last year. I had this same injury has been lingering. I had surgery last year in October, and then had to have another surgery after the season of last year, which has put me out to be able to redshirt this year. But it's taught me a lot of patience. Basketball is something that I kind of did day in and day out, and having that being taken away was hard. It was definitely, I had to really go into my faith, go into my family, go into the people around me. I think the biggest lesson that I learned was being able to use the people that are around me and asking for help. Like, I'm a person that I'm always there for people and all those things, but rarely do I ever ask for help for myself. So it was definitely a position where I had to be like, okay, this is hurting, and being able to take a step back. I feel like I'm always a person that's like work, and having to listen to my body and do what's best for me. That way I am successful for years to come. I even tell my mom all the time, like, okay, like, I think I'm ready to come back. Like, and she's like, no, like, remember, patience. And so just being able to push myself, but also listening to my body has been really important. And then piggyback off of the people around me. Like, I have some great people who is also, some of them has been through injuries. Coach Ivy has been through an injury, and just her mentorship of just being there for me and showing me that love has been amazing. And I couldn't ask for a better situation that I'm in. It sucks that I'm hurt, but in a way, like, I'm glad that I'm at the place that I'm at to be hurt, So the resources that they have, the athletic trainers, the strength coach, all of that has been really important. And like I said, I've never been hurt. So having this injury has been like, okay, yes, you have to do the things on the court and working out and different things like that. But the off the court stuff, how you eat, how you stretch, how you sleep at night, all those things are just as important. So I learned that now, and I think that is a really good thing, because I do want to play professionally, and it's better that I learned it now than then. So that's been probably the biggest takeaway.
So while you've been hurt, there's been some things that you've been doing, and I've been paying attention. I know Jeremy has. So you have sideline chats with KK, and even after the games, I've seen you grab Olivia Miles and you do a live, or you do a Instagram video, or you talk to Hannah right after the game. Is where did you come up with this idea to start interviewing other college athletes like yourself, and then doing the little kind of sideline reporting, towards the end of the games?
Yes. So probably when I was in ninth grade, my uncle works at ESPN, and that sparked, I visited ESPN and got to see the behind the scenes, and that sparked my love for broadcasting, especially sports broadcasting. So that is actually what I want to do after basketball, and what I'm here studying at college is going into broadcasting and that stuff. So, I was hurt, I'm hurt this year, and I just thought that I needed some ways to kind of keep myself busy when I, can't really use my body, but being able to stay connected to the game. So and Notre Dame has done such a good job of allowing me to, do the off court or the stuff on the side, or after the games and interviewing people with the team. So they making sure that I'm involved, but I wanted to go a step further and being able to do these little segments. It's called, or it's Sideline Chats with KK. And essentially my first series that I did was the top 10 teams of women's basketball. And that, going back to what I said earlier with the connections, like I've had these connections. A lot of these girls are my friends. So it's really beneficial. But then being able to step out of my comfort zone and contact people. Now I'm doing a series with people on Notre Dame's campus and talk to people that I might not know, or reach out to people that I might not know, but having that opportunity and getting that practice in, because it is something that I want to do and I love to do. I love to hear about stories of other athletes and giving them that platform to kind of tell their own story. So it's been a really great experience. It's definitely helped me in learning a few things, learning about the time management of it all, balancing school, and I'm still having to go to practice and do strength conditioning and rehab and all those things. So balancing all of that has been probably a little tough, but it's been a great lesson. It's been really fun just to kind of hear their stories, because I'm hearing things that I've never would have known about some of the people that I knew, and then meeting new people that I might have known through social media but not had the chance to kind of talk to. So, and then being able to let other people hear their stories as well. So it's been really, really good. I'm really excited about just finding ways to push it out more. So, yeah.
It's such a different perspective than just like a media personality, like interviewing. You guys share the same commonality, both playing, being student athletes at different schools. Like the Iowa State one I thought was really interesting, and Audie Crooks. And watching her play last year in the tournament was amazing. And then obviously seeing what she's doing this year, averaging 19 points and then some of the other girls at Duke, and that it's the commonality that you guys share, and you guys can talk in a way that people like us, I don't know what it's like to play a Division I basketball. So the things that you guys can talk about and the things that you can share are pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's been a really big goal of mine, is just kind of finding the things that people might not think about or might not think about to ask, but and then them being comfortable enough to talk about it with me, and I'm relating to it, I'm learning things, and just allowing them to kind of know that. And I think it kind of gives a more open conversation when, they're teaching me things and I'm teaching them things, and just kind of listening to their stories. Like it's been a really cool experience.
So KK, we asked what you've learned about yourself. What have you learned about your team? This Notre Dame team, currently ranked 10 in the country, is pretty darn good. The backcourt, you've got Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, who dealt with her own injuries last year and came back, and you mentioned Sonia Citron. This is a really, really good team. What have you learned about the team, and what can we expect coming up this week? And I know Greenie has some questions about the matchup against UConn.
Yeah, it's been a really great experience. It sucks that I'm hurt, but it's been such a great experience for me to see the game from a different perspective. I think I've really found my voice this year, and trying to help lead the team and doing as much as I can off the court, because I want to contribute. It's such a great team, and I see the potential of our team, and everybody sees the potential of our team, but just trying to make sure that I'm helping them pull their best selves out has been a really big goal of mine, and something that, we've talked about. We have great leaders on the team that has kind of helped me, but just being able to, because I have experienced, winning championships in high school and being around great players. So just taking my knowledge, and I'm able to see the stuff off the court. It's such a different perspective. And Coach Ivy gives me the green light and completely open for me to say whatever I want to say, and just kind of help just as much as if I was out there playing. So it's been a really, really interesting experience of being able to almost be a coach or someone off the court that's not in a coach's position, and someone that is actively going through it, the on the court stuff. So this team's amazing. I can't talk about this team enough. We've faced so much adversity. The injury have kind of set us back, but the way that we fight every game, despite that, you talked about Olivia Miles last year being injured, and then now this year we have Maddie Westbeld out and Liza out, and so those Liza and Maddie is a big pieces that hopefully soon will be back on the court. But in the meantime, we've been doing so great, and just I've been so proud of them watching on the sidelines and being able to help them as much as I can. But the talent that we have is unmatched, and even we're doing this with 6 or 7 players. So I think that's just amazing to see, and I'm just glad that we're doing as best as we can and having the potential that we're trying to get to the potential that we are at. And at the end of the day, our goal is to be a Final Four team. So I feel like we're going in the right path, especially so early in the season. The success that we've had, it's been great. So
we were fortunate enough to spend some time with you guys in person last year in March. We did an event in South Bend and got to make some trading cards and then sit and talk with everybody. And we were taken aback by how well Hannah Hidalgo is progressing as a freshman, and not now as a sophomore, but when we met her, still a freshman.
mm-hmm.
And the play, we just showed it right there. Are there things that you see in her that you're just like, oh my God, like she's that good?
Yes. Okay. So the thing with Hannah, I was her person on her visit when she came. So I was her host. So I feel like Hannah's like my little baby. So I feel like, and just watching her grow, I feel like everybody sees her on the court stuff, but seeing how much of a leader she's been this year has been amazing. How she stepped up to take on that vocal leader, the energy, giving us the things that we need when we need it. It has been amazing. Like you said, the just things that she does, I'm just like, that's just so tough. I'm always telling people to, tune into Hannah, tune into Olivia Miles, because they're great players, and they are Hannah just scored her 1,000 point. That's crazy as a sophomore, so early in the season, the fastest that a Notre Dame player has ever scored 1,000 points. And that's with people like Skylar Diggins, Jewel Lloyd, Kayla McBride, so many people that has went through this program, and Hannah has, she's right ahead of that path. So, it's been really great, and just to see her develop. And what I think I'm most proud of is how much of a leader she's been this year, just in practices, off the court, in locker rooms, different things like that. She's really taken that step to kind of grow up and be that leader that we need.
Yeah, Olivia Miles first came back, had a triple-double.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Olivia, another one. Our team's really close, so I'm so proud of Olivia, and now knowing that how I'm in an injury, it makes me so proud of her. And even when she went through her injury, it was tough for her because basketball is her first love. She loves basketball. So being able to see her struggle all last year, struggle not playing, struggle going through having to sit on the bench, different things like that, and to be able to see her play, it made me so emotional her first game. She was crying coming out and playing on the court. So it's just been amazing. Like I said, it's great that I'm surrounded by such great players, and Olivia Miles is someone who also is stepping into that leadership role and being that facilitator that we need. So yeah, I'm so proud of her, especially now I can connect a little bit more with the injury piece of it, and just seeing how grateful and how happy she is this year, and how it's just been great.
KK, one of the signature things that's different for athletes these days is the ability to connect on social media and Instagram and connect directly with your audience. And one of the evolutions of that is the pregame fit. Can you talk about the importance and the way I look at this these days? You're dressing for a job. You got to dress to, dress the part, dress for the job you want, not the job you have necessarily. And the game has really stepped up outside the game on how athletes come to the arena, how they present themselves. How important is that in setting the right mindset?
I think it's really important. I mean, you see it all the time with the WNBA. They have the Instagram account League Fit. So to be able to do this here at college level, and Coach Ivy being able to let us express ourselves off the court has been amazing. And I mean, we, like you said, it's like you're dressing up for a job. You're trying to, figure out things of how you can still be a part of the team without being on the court. And that is just another way that I can come prepared, come ready, and have something to do and have something to look forward to. So it's been great. And Coach Ivy, our whole coaching staff is a really fashionable coaching staff. They're always putting on fits. So for them to allow us to do that has been amazing. I love fashion. I'm such a girly girl. So it makes me happy. When she told us, she's like, yeah, like, I don't care. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing, like, and like I said, the WNBA, you see that all the time. You see that in the NBA all the time, where they're dressing up and being able to express themselves off the court while they're sitting on the sideline. So I'm so grateful to have a coach that is allowing us to do that and allowing us to express ourselves while being able to be locked into the game.
Go ahead, Greenie. We got just a couple minutes left, and we want to talk about the matchup this week.
Yeah, but before I get to that, though, we do want to talk about your sister that you mentioned. So Kylie, she's going to be coming up here to Northeast Ohio and playing at Akron next year. And we've got to know Coach Gensler, and you mentioned you got to speak to him as well. What was her decision to come up here to Akron, and what is she looking forward to most next year?
Yeah, so Coach Gensler was amazing, is an amazing head coach, and he was amazing throughout her process. When she went on campus, she instantly texted me, was like, this feels like home. So I know that she's in good hands. And Makira Cook, who I played with in high school, actually played for Coach Gensler when he was assistant coach at Dayton in Illinois. So it's such a small world, but I know, especially from her, she's in really great hands, and she's just really excited to go to a program that is up and coming. And he's a new coach there, so she feels like he believes in her and believes in her abilities. So she wanted to definitely go to a school that she was going to be able to play freely, and she felt like Akron was the school for that. And just the way that their coaching staff really connected with my family. Like I said, we're a really close family, but they really took the time out to get to know me, get to know my brother, get to know both of my parents. And that was just equally as important as getting to know my sister. So she's really excited to go on campus. She's always writing Akron things in her room and hanging up pictures and things like that, drawings and stuff. So she's really excited. I'm so excited to see her at the college level. She's going through her year at Mount Notre Dame this year, and she just it's been thriving. So she's been having a really great year. I think they've only lost one game. So I'm excited to hopefully get to a game, but I'm excited especially for her being a senior. I can't believe it, and being able to go to Akron next year.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to get her up here. Is there a way you can get Coach Ivy to schedule a road game?
We've been talking about it. I don't know. You might see. You might see.
I had to ask. So, but yeah. So turning towards this game Thursday, let's do that. What do we expect out of Notre Dame? What do we expect to see, and how are we going to defend Paige?
I mean, yeah, Paige is a great player. I've played against Paige. I played with Paige at different camps and stuff. So she's just a great all-around player, and the rivalry of UConn is big. Like I said, it's going to be so many alumni. It's a sold-out crowd. So it's a really big stage, and I think what our focus is to just play our game and to play hard. I think UConn's a great team that is so disciplined. So, having to play against a disciplined team, all you can do is play hard. So just being able to have that energy that we talk about for every game is really important. So, taking that and applying that on the court and being able to soak in the moment and kind of take out all the outside chatter and just really be into us and into who we are is great, because we're playing against really great players. And I'm just excited because it's helping women's basketball as a whole. So just being able to have that platform, it be on TV, I know a lot of people are going to be watching it. So I'm really excited to watch it. I think we're ready to play. I think we're ready to, kind of show what we have and kind of go out there and play hard. That's been our main focus.
Yeah.
Well, KK, we can't thank you enough for joining us this evening. You've been more than gracious with your time. You've got that matchup tomorrow night, number 10 Notre Dame against number 2 UConn in South Bend. So we appreciate you joining us. We really appreciate having gotten to know you and your teammates over the last couple months, and really how accessible the game is for the women's basketball game is for fans and families and young kids. And we can't wait to watch you continue to grow.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been a great time hanging out with you guys. So I'm excited for you guys to come up here in South Bend and kind of watch the game, and everybody tune into the game, please. And, just support women's basketball. But I thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on here.
And before we let you go, where can people find you? Where's Sideline Chats? Where's the best place people can watch that?
Yes, so on Instagram, it's Sideline Chats with KK, and I have a YouTube that is also Sideline Chats with KK, and then my Twitter handle is ballisLifeKK14, and my regular Instagram handle is KK Bransford. So go tune into Sideline Chats with KK. We have some really good things coming up, so I'm really excited.
Fantastic. We can't wait, and we'll hopefully see you Thursday night, and go Irish.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, KK. All right.
Well, Jeremy, that was a lot of fun.
That's very cool. Very, very cool. And of course, the KK Bransford card is available on greeniecards.com, along with her teammates, the set from 2023 team for Notre Dame. I mentioned how accessible the game is. These are really, really impressive young women at that level, at the D1 level, having spent time now with Cleveland State and Akron and players out of there, and getting to know players from Ball State and Wright State and Purdue. But Notre Dame, we went up there, and Adam was up there as well with us and doing that event. They're all personable. They're incredibly impressive for their age, 18, 19, up to 21 years old, the way they carry themselves, the way they communicate. And it's very cool stuff. It makes it very easy to root for people like that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It does. It makes it. I mean, listen, we're Buckeyes, and Cleveland State, but never in my life did I ever think that I would root for Notre Dame. And meeting those young ladies, and then our friend Sean, I mean, it has us rooting for Notre Dame, and it's easy to root for people that are likable.
Absolutely. Speaking of likable, let's bring in Adam himself and talk a little bit about some hobby news. Adam, what's going on?
Let's try this again.
There you go.
Adam, how you doing?
Yeah, not too shabby. I won't say what I said before while I was on mute, but that was a cool interview with KK. They're good people over there at Notre Dame. They're raising some fine young ladies on that basketball team, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
Indeed. So we got about 10 minutes. You got a lot of hobby news, so why don't you and Haley get after it?
All right. So starting off tonight, we're going with Topps Chrome Sapphire, which will drop today, actually, is the release date of it. So this is one of the more premier releases of the year, especially by Topps. Each card is basically a blue cracked ice refractor, and that's the base card. The boxes are not cheap, especially with this one, because it's got the Paul Skeens rookie card in it, and this Paul Skeens rookie autograph. It's a very small box. There are 4 cards per pack and 8 packs per box. Each box will yield you 1 autograph. All the autographs in this set are only rookie cards. So there's Skeens, Colt Keith, Sedana Rafaela, Jackson Churio, Junior Caminero, Jason Dominguez, Jackson Holiday, Jackson Merrill. All those guys are going to be in here. You're going to be looking for. So it's a pretty solid. There's not too many in this set that like you're going to open and be like, oh man, this is who I got, because all of them are pretty good. Wyatt Langford, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shota Managa. So there's plenty of really good autos to be pulled out of this, and you have a pretty good chance of pulling a really solid auto out of here. The one thing that I like about this is there's only one insert set, so you're really building rainbows and looking for the short printed refractors. The one insert set is Sapphire Selections, and that also features an autograph, and that'll feature guys like Jackson Churio, Holiday, Merrill, Skeens, and Amanaga. Again, it's a small set, but it's super cool. And if I didn't mention it, it's the Topps Chrome Update Sapphire, not regular Topps Chrome. So it'll feature, I believe it is 200, 300, 400, 350 of the top cards out of Topps Chrome Update is going to be in a Sapphire edition. So be on the lookout for that. You'll see those at hobby shops soon. I believe this is a Topps exclusive release. You can only get it on the website, so I'm not sure how many hobby shops will have it. Again, it's not going to be a cheap product, but it's a super fun rip. Also coming out this week.
I'm sure on the secondary market, though, Adam, people will buy them to resell.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. So, yeah. I mean, and that's where you're going to find them. You know, it's guys getting on Topps website and bought it, and then you'll see them out. Right. If I make a recommendation, you know, we're not sponsored by Topps or anything, give it a month and then buy a box, because these prices for boxes like this always start out super crazy high, and then they drop pretty significantly. So if I were you, I'd wait a couple weeks, maybe even a month, and then buy a box. But if you're like me and get all excited when the new releases like this come out, and you're just going to rip it open anyway. But do as I say, not as I do, right?
Right. But one box is fine to open.
Yeah.
Have we heard of any big hits in the Bowman yet?
I know I've seen some Bazanas. I've seen some of the big rookie names autos have been pulled, but nothing crazy. Like,
yeah.
Did I hear a Lou Gehrig superfractor or something got pulled?
I don't something. I think maybe I did hear that. I think you're right.
Something like that. But
yeah,
I know there's only a few. Like I've seen there's a John Elway Bowman Chrome first in it and stuff like that. But I haven't seen anything crazy. I know that I'm fairly confident that the Paul Skeens has still not been pulled out of Topps Chrome Update. I tried my luck the other day, and
then you didn't get it.
No, I did not.
No,
but no. I don't have very good luck. As the way my day started off today, getting rear-ended shows you. But anyway, moving right along. Enough of my bad luck. Let's talk about 2024 Panini Prism Draft Picks Football. Comes out to that was supposed to be out November 15th, but I think it just came out. But it's got the on campus, which is like the downtown. It's got the color. It's actually got Color Blast duals this year instead of just singles, which is pretty cool. And that's always one of the top insert sets you're looking for. The Mango, which is like a Japanese style art insert, which is a big deal. Sorry, Haley, I'm kind of going backwards from the bottom of the page to the top, but that's okay. Stained glass is always a popular one. Then it's always got this. We've got RPAs, which is kind of weird for Prism, and I imagine those are probably super tough pulls. But you'll find all the big guys, Michael Penix Jr., although I'm not sure. I don't believe that you'll find Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. I don't think they're going to be in this. And careful when you're getting into breaks. Make sure you're looking, if you're buying into for the Commanders or the Bears, make sure that those guys are in there, because they don't have Panini contracts, so they're not going to be signing any autographs. So if you're spending buku dollars on the Bears or the Commanders, just make sure you check the checklist first, because I'm 99% sure that those guys are not going to be on autographs in there. So, there's no need to spend big money on those guys until regular Prism comes out and even Mosaic, but they're only going to be in like base cards,
Right,
because of their NFLPA contract. They have to be
right.
in
I
there.
think they're fanatics only, right? So they'll only have autographs and Topps products.
Correct. I'm pretty sure I know Caleb Williams is one. I can't confirm nor deny Jaden Daniels, but I'm pretty confident saying that. And then moving
Real
on.
quick, but before you get that, Chaz said that a Bazana Super has been pulled, an insert he saw. So
Yeah, the inserts are fun,
right,
but
still it's still a
still
Bazana Super
of the number one prospect, but
who's obviously now going to play in the majors next year with the Guardians trading Jimenez. So
there's still guys that, there's Angel Martinez and a couple other guys that they might stick up there. But the dude that they traded for supposedly can play second base too. So, I'd hate to see them just blow Bazana right up into the pros, but
he's ready.
Yeah, worked for Skeens. Maybe it can work for him. Last but not least, we've got Panini Black, which gets released tomorrow. A lot of people like this set. I'm not a huge fan of it because they're tough grades. The cards are always full bleed black across the edges, so the corners get dinged easy and things like that. But the RPAs are fun in it. There's no super crazy inserts or anything. You're basically looking for, big RPAs of guys or Hall of Famers. But like the Jason Kelce, if you scroll down a little bit more, Haley, down to the Jason Kelce capstones, that's pretty sweet. Everybody who doesn't love the Kelce brothers, I don't care if you're a fan of, if you hate the Eagles or the Chiefs, you have to like the Kelce brothers. It's just who they are. But this will have autographs, RPAs, the inserts. Like I said, there's nothing crazy on the inserts. Smokescreen, Vanta, White Knight, nothing crazy on the inserts. This set is hardcore autographs and memorabilia. This is a 1-pack hobby box with 5 cards in it. You should get 1 rookie patch autograph, 1 additional autograph, 1 memorabilia card, 1 parallel, and 1 base card in it. And there's not very many parallels to the rainbow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, with the platinum being the 1-on-1s. But, this one you're really looking for the patches and the autos, and the patches are pretty sick in this product.
Yeah, very cool. It is a cool product. You're right. Tough to grade, but there are some really fun cards that
Absolutely.
you can get.
Speaking of the Kelce brothers, they have a new Christmas song out called Christmas Time in Cleveland Heights. You may like the Kelce brothers. You don't have to love that song, even though we love Cleveland Heights. But God bless them.
I listened to it once, and I don't have to hear it again.
Watch their interview with Bill Murray. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
we love the Kelce brothers, love Cleveland Heights. They're doing a lot of tremendous things, but they have a Christmas song out. We'll leave it at that. Adam, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Greenie, I was just rifling through some of these awesome cards from Notre Dame. Here's KK. You've got these available on site on greeniecards.com. Of course, Hannah Hildago. There's a Sonia Citron in there.
It's interesting that we had so much to talk about with KK that we didn't get a chance to really go over these cards with her.
Yeah. Or even a Maddie Westbeld, who is a tremendous player, is hurt as well. That team is loaded.
Right. They are absolutely loaded, and they have, a freshman center this year that's putting up big numbers. And, like I said, that backcourt of Olivia and Hannah is something else. That play that you showed, that's, male or female, that was, no pun intended, heads up play. So look forward to that. And then we'll see that game Thursday.
So tomorrow night, number 10, Notre Dame takes on number 2, UConn.
That's Thursday.
Or Thursday night. The interwebs have it off. So check that game out, Greenie. As always, great show tonight. Our thanks to KK Bransford. Thank you to Haley behind the board. Thank you to Adam for joining us. Greenie, thank you as always for letting us do this. May the cards forever be in your favor.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night, everybody.
Auction tonight, 9 o'clock.
9:00 p.m.
All right. Check Alex out, 9 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m.